What's up, everybody out there? How y'all doing? Artist of Strong Style here. Here to give you another deck profile on the exosisters. An exceed deck, and I'll admit to you this: I don't like to exceed, but what I do like to do is make decks based on each of the methods of what you do. So, playing a deck that you don't play from the extra deck, that would be my King of Skull Servant deck and my Monarch deck. If you're going to play a fusion deck, that's my Dark Lord fusion I made, and then the 2-element Dark World deck, because that's fusion. If you're going to play an X Seed, that would be the Exosisters right here. And then a Ritual deck, that would be my Necros deck. As for a Synchro deck, that would be my Shiranayu deck. And then for a Link deck, that would be my Tri-Brigade deck. So, even if I do not like it, I want to make methods of each different kind. So, a deck you're not going to play from the extra deck, a deck that you're going to play Ritual, a deck that you're going to play X-Scene, a deck that you're going to play Synchro, and a deck that you're going to play Link. So, yeah, even if I don't like it, I'll still play it. Because think of it this way. Okay, yes, a deck that you like and a deck that you do not like. So it's like, have both ways of thinking of how you want to play. So, Exosisters is what I don't like, but I would play. Now, okay, when my birthday came, I got 2 boxes of the, right here, the 25th quarter century. I got 2 boxes. When I opened it up, I almost had all the Exosisters. I was just missing like maybe 10 more cards. So I thought, why not just make an Exosister deck? Because I almost had everything. All I was missing was the Magnifica, 2 more Martha, and a couple of like 1 or 2 more of the other Exosisters, but 1 of each I had already. So I was like, maybe just make one. So, an Exosister deck, yes, they have a Exceed, and you are exceeding with the deck. Now, okay, I've seen Exosister decks. Of course, it's the Exosisters, and then they play their monster cards, which is monster cards from their hand, of course, yes. Of course, you're going to be playing the Ash Blossoms and, everything else. For me, no. So what I decided to do was, what am I so good with any other deck? You go Kaiju. Now, so then, let's get on with this, and then I'm going to show you what I developed and made up with this deck. So then, Exosister Martha is the starter of the Exosister Martha. And it's the highest attack and the starter of what you want to start off with. It's your starter of the Exosisters. Exosister Martha. If you control no monsters, or only Exosister monsters from your extra deck, Exceeds, you can special summon Exosister Martha. Then you special summon Exosister Elise. That's your combo already. Have this out, Exceed into a level 4. Simple as this. That's all you're doing. And you're going to make your Exosister. Now, as for Exosister Ellis, If you control an exosister monster on the field, you can special summon exosister Alice. Now, if you control an exosister Stella, you'll gain 800 life points. So the whole point of the, and then what's best about the whole entire deck is you're going to be able to play Xseed monsters from on your opponent's turn if they're bringing out monsters from their from the graveyard. So if they monster reborn or bring out any like let's say one of my friends he runs the evil twins. He brings those out. I can make an Xseed using these cards. So I can pretty much, what I mean is like, okay, let's say, okay, Exosister Martha, and then special summoning these. Even if I did not do this on my turn, anytime my opponent, let's just say my opponent, Monster Reborn, I can do this on my opponent's turn. Make your, of course, yeah, do it on my opponent's turn. So, Exosister Martha, Exosister Alice, they're going to go Exosister Stella, Exosister Irene, and Sophia. There are only 10 Exosisters. Exosister Sophia, if you control another Exosister monster, you can draw one card. Then, if you control an Exosister Irene, you'll gain 800 life points. If your opponent moves a card or cards from either graveyard, like I just said, you'll be able to make your Xseed. Pretty much, that's what you're doing. Irene, you can place one Exosister monster from your hand and the bottom of the deck. Draw one card. As for Stella, if you control an Exosister during your main phase, if you control an Exosister, what I mean is, my mistake. As soon as you have this on the field, you can special summon an Exosister. So there are different ways to making your Xseeds besides just using the Martha. And that's all you're doing. Of course, low attacks, powerful. They can be pretty powerful, especially with the, pretty much, yeah, making Exosisters. Then for Kaijus, it's just one of each Kaiju. And then, yes, you are going to play the Dark Kaiju as well. 7 Kaijus. That's it. So 17 monsters you're going to have in the deck. 17. So you're 10 Exosisters and then 7 Kaijus. That's it. I did try doing like 11 with more Kaijus, but I'm like, no, that's not good. Because when I was like, practicing drawing, I was drawing only like, my Kaijus. I didn't really draw any Exosisters, or I did, but it wasn't the combo that you particularly wanted to do. So just one of each. So that's my Exosisters. I mean, that's for the monsters. Magic cards, okay. Exosister packs is what you're gonna be. Is your spell card. It's almost like the reinforcing the army. During the main phase, you can pay 800 life points and one Exosister card from your deck to add it to your hand. Now here's the thing, except for itself. Here's another thing. Remember, any card. So even if you wanted to get a monster, you can do that as well. If you chose a monster, and for the Exosister monster you chose, if you have of what is mentioned, because yeah, each Exosister monster has a name of what it means. If you have what it means on the field or in the graveyard, you can special summon that Exosister, or just add it to your hand. Like that's a reinforcement to the army. Then, of course, Interpreter Kaiju Slumber. the 3 Book of Moon, 3 Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster. Here's just a card I got in the box also, in the tin can, and I thought it was pretty alright. Just Spellbound. It's a continuous spell card. It's just a little fun thing I put in. All face-up monsters your opponent controls cannot be attributed or used as material for a fusion, synchro, exceed, or link on that turn. Just a little cool little magic card. Since you are playing spellcasters and you want to have some draw power, a Spellbook of Knowledge. You send this card either to the spellcaster that you control, and draw 2 cards. Monster Reborn, a Call by the Grave, and since you are going to be since I'll show you a combo of really how you're going to play this and you're really going to be using a lot of monsters, then I would go Pot of Avarice. I am going to try possibly 2 in here, since it's going to be 41 cards and maybe 42, add in a second Pot of Avarice, maybe. And if I need to use a second one, I'll use a second one. Other than that, it's just 1. Then there's Exosister Vadis, Exosister Returnia. I'll explain each one. Exosister Returnia. If all monsters you control are Exosister monsters by a minimum of 1, pay 800 life points. Then target 1 card your opponent controls or in their graveyard. Banish it. Then you can apply one of the following effects. There are 2. So first, immediately after this effect resolves, exceed summon 1 Exorcister monster using materials you control. Or, if you exceed this turn, banish 1 card on the field your opponent controls and destroy it. And then Vadis is pay 800 life points, choose 1 Exorcister monster from your deck, then take 1 other monster from your deck that is mentioned on that monster and special summon both of them. So it's special summoning both, special summon 2, but then shuffle them at the end phase, unless you're gonna be exceed. So pretty interesting, yeah. It's just very, very quick ways of you can bring out exosisters to make your exceed, and then just compulse. No infinite permanents, no nothing. Remember, I will never play those cards because that's if only gonna play competitive, which I don't play competitive. So 41 card deck. If I needed to go 42, I will. If I need to go 42, I will put in a second Pot of Avarice or a Spellbook of Knowledge because I want to do some draw power. And then with Pot of Avarice, 5 monster cards right back to your deck. Shuffle, draw 2 cards. Now, exceeds. Okay, first, the boss monster, Exosisters Magnifica. Here's how it goes. You need 2 rank 4 of Exosister monsters. Must be Exosister. Then, this card, okay, here's how it goes. First, it can make 2 attacks. Must be, okay. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card. Banish 1 card your opponent controls. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can return 1 Exceed monster you control attached to this card to your extra deck. You can only use this effect. Then, special summon one. Basically, you don't want to do that effect. You want to do the effect of banishing. And just, yeah, there are ways. Because remember, there are ways you can just do like three banishes. Remember, I told you what Returnia does. So even when it's your opponent, on your turn, my mistake, you're gonna exceed Returnia, banish because of Magnifica, banish because of Returnia, and then the second effect, which you are going to be doing of Returnia, is if you exceed. Yes, that's 3 banishes. Banish because of this. Banish because the first effect of Returnia. The second effect of the following effects of Returnia is if you exceed, then you banish another. That's 3 banishes. And it doesn't have to be on your opponent's turn. I mean, it can be your opponent's graveyard, is what I mean. And then, of course, yeah. And it's not a targeting effect, to tell you the truth. Not a targeting effect. That's what's interesting. Here's the second one, Michaelis. Cannot be destroyed by battle. With a special summon from your graveyard, you can use the following effects, which is Exorcist or monster per turn. Once per turn. If you control this, let me read right here. Okay. Cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster special summon from the graveyard. Okay. But it can still be destroyed by a battle that your opponent has on the field, or it can be targeted still. Okay. You can only use the following effects of Exorcist or Michaelis once per turn. If you control this card, and if it was used by an Exorcist or monster, which most likely you are going to be doing, as material, quick effect, you can target one card your opponent controls in their graveyard, banish it. Then you can detach one material to search for a spell or trap card of an exosister. Then Caspatel. What it does is Exosister Caspatel. Once per turn, if this card is exceed using Exosister monsters as material, neither player can special summon monsters from their graveyard for the rest of this turn. You can detach this to search for a monster Exosister. And this is when the effect's going to go into making Magnifica in just one turn. I'm going to show you when it comes down to the test hands. Then there's Exosister Kebrin, Exosister Asphoil, I believe. I'm only using one of these because these are like the weakest ones out of all, but Exosisters. So Gibran is the same thing. You must, if you have done an Exosister, which you have using Exosister. Quick effect, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls and negate its effects until the end of this turn. You can detach one material from this card for the rest of this turn. All XC monsters control 800. So not so bad, but Exosister. And then of course Asphoil, used as material of an Exosister. Neither player can activate card effects in graveyard this turn. You can detach one material, then target one monster your opponent controls, return it back to the hand. Not bad. And then you're just making level 4s a lot, so you can play whatever. Like for right now, I'm just thinking Exoton Knight and Tornado Dragon. Of course, yeah, whatever you want to do. If I'm thinking of doing I might be thinking of going into making I'm thinking of maybe going into doing an access code talker. Maybe if I'm gonna go Appaloosa, the Goddess, Appaloosa, Ike Mascarena. I'm thinking of those maybe. But other than that, that's just what I have right now. So yeah, just exosisters. So yeah, 17 monsters. So then, none of those, none of those damn cards. So no Ash Blossom, no Yvette Valers, no Nibiru's, no Ghost Ogre, none of those cards I will ever play. If I was given those cards and they were like $1,000, all right, fine, give me that. I will give you back give me back the $1,000, and then I will take here. You can have those cards right back because I will never play them. So yeah, I did change it up a bit so it's less kaiju. Even if it's still only like 10 exorcisters, I still have ways of bringing this out. And then just yeah, when it comes to the test hands, I will show you how I use Martha into going into Magnifica. Just on Martha, and then I'll go into Magnifica. And then there are different kind of ways to still go into Magnifica. That's the whole point. It is an XC deck. As I said, I don't like to XC, but I like to make every single deck of all different kind of methods. You're playing from your XC deck, or you're not playing from your XC deck. Not from your XC deck, you're going to play an XC, you're going to play a Fusion, you're going to play a Synchro, you're going to play a Link. As for... And then, of course, yeah, not playing from your extra deck. A normal deck you're not going to play. You're not going to use the extra deck. And then there's a ritual deck. So, yeah, this is my Exosister, and then I'm playing an Exceed. So, Exosisters. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe. The test hands will be coming next. I will be speaking to y'all later. Peace.